Welcome to one more Hawaiian sunrise here in Puna. Yep, it's 6:50 or so this morning. Sky's lighting up. There's some cloud down there in the east that could amount to rain, but been no rain for days and days, and only light rain before that. Yeah, hasn't been much lately. Well, a lot of cars on the road today. I can vaguely smell the exhaust, the gasoline from some of them that aren't burning it fully. Yeah. Last night, I was sitting out here on the porch with Ellen, and all of a sudden, ooh, sweet smell. Oh yeah, perfume come floating through the air. Oh, I bet that's angel trumpet. Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? He says, I thought I smelled citronella. I said, well, I'm burning a candle over here for mosquitoes on the table. I remembered that I find a smell underneath it, angel trumpet. There's a sweet smell, but there is also kind of a citronella undertone in there if you dig deep enough with your nose. Well, then I smelled the citronella in the candle at the same time. Next thing I know, bang, nose was gone again. Yeah, between the candle and the flower perfume, blocked me right up tight. But my sinus headache is gone. Ah, yes. So the inflammation from the bog is gone, but the sensory endings in my nose are still a little flaky. You know, I had good whiff there last night for a while, but then it just shut me down this morning. It's not much sense of smell. Vaguely, only the worst part of coffee bean smell. It happens to me. I get overwhelmed in my nose. Yeah, so, yesterday, so what occurred is that for the longest time, yes, this has been procrastinated. I've been wanting to take a rather huge collection of music that's on CDs, tapes, and so on. It would have been on vinyl too, but my ex ended up with the vinyl collection. I've lost that. But I have this enormous collection of music, and Ellen has another one too, And so I've been meaning to digitalize all of it, and get it onto hard drive so I can just stream it. Well, finally got around to it. Yeah, I went ahead and I bought myself a CD, external CD drive, and I got myself a big gig portable hard drive, and started moving the files. Started burning all the CDs and moving them away over to the hard drive and filing them. And we needed to get the entire library into a streaming format, because some of the CDs, as I started, ripping these things, there's a few of them that have degraded. I had an Is CD that, for some reason, I think I got too much Loco Moco on it or something. It only burned a few of the songs off Is. It would play these songs. Well, we have this big collection, and a lot of it, for me, was blues music, Chicago blues music, old-time blues music, that was my biggest love. It's the sort of music that I really grew up playing in Chicago, and they were the guys I followed around, and I was lucky enough to be alive as a young man with a couple of bucks in my hand during the 60s when, you could go see Howlin' Wolf, you could go see Muddy Waters, you could go see Albert King, B.B. King, on and on and on and on. You could see all these guys, in seedy little clubs for a couple of bucks. You didn't have to spend a lot of money. Sometimes they were free, even. Lucky enough at 18 to sit down on the front row, a little seedy club called Alice's for $2 when Muddy Waters was playing, and He's doing Manish Boy. I'm a man, I'm a man. Muddy Yardbirds did that too, if you know your rock. But Muddy, boy, we were screaming. Me and Randy up in that front row. Yeah, oh man, yeah. Oh, we were out of it. Well, the lady next to us, she turns and says, "You like that guy?" We said, "Oh man, yeah, oh." Muddy, are you kidding me? She says, "Well, maybe we'll meet him when he's on break. He's my husband." So, yeah, we got to meet Muddy. Muddy was unimpressed with us little white boys. But, I'm sitting at a party one time, and some lady drags Albert King in and flops down on the sofa next to me. And so me and King got drunk and stoned together talking about the blues. And so I have, deep into some of this, whatever. I start playing these discs, and Howlin' Wolf be doing 44. I carry my 44 so long, my shoulder's sore. Oh, I start crying. I get very emotional. That is, wet-eyed over too many dang things. But some of them blues guys, that was my childhood, man. Can't even think about it. Yeah, so I got the Harvey Mandel, Well, Harvey, he was, you go way back. You got the grandfathers, These would be the guys like Robert Johnson and Buka White, and Reverend Gary Davis, and, I don't know. The stuff that was in the early recordings. Stuff comes to us, really right in the Delta and down there and in Texas and that, on the old time 20s and 30s recordings. But then you move forward, and, during World War II, there was work in the cities, man. And so, especially Chicago, people came from the South and streamed in Chicago for the work. Well, a lot of blues musicians from down there moved north at the time, and they congregated in the city. Amplifiers and electric guitars were coming the thing, and we got a whole new sound that happened there, and those would be what I'd call the fathers, guys like Albert King, B.B. King, Muddy Waters a little before that even, Howlin' Wolf, Willie Dixon, all those guys. Well, then later in Chicago, they stimulated a whole other generation of guys like Paul Butterfield, Charlie Musselwhite, Mike Bloomfield, Alvin Bishop, Harvey Mandel, for instance. Although Harvey, he started off in blues bands working with Charlie Musselwhite, but Harvey, I gotta put my finger, Harvey's probably one of the most premier and original psychedelic guitarists there is. I love Harvey. I once owned one of Harvey's guitars, a 61 Stratocaster, Fender Stratocaster. He traded it in a music store I worked in. I never knew Harvey, although I used to watch him on the stage, but I had his guitar for quite a while. Didn't like it. I think it's why he got rid of it too. I moved it along. It was a neck profile. Yeah, the neck profile was weird. I found it cumbersome. Yeah, Harvey probably did too. So I moved it along. Yeah, got rid of it. Found out later that particular neck on 61 Strats, for some players, that thing is so coveted. It was worth a lot of money, aside from the provenance of it being Harvey's. But, I've done that several times. Mm-hmm. Yes. There have been times, years past, where I did own guitars that would have made me rich. I never thought twice about it back in those days. And then, the guitars were just tools, they're hammers. So I'm listening to this Harvey CD, Snake Man, this later thing that was cut. I'm listening to the keyboard player in the back, and I go, oh man, that's Barry Goldberg. Yeah. Barry died 2 days ago, 83 years old. Most of those guys, the children of the blues, they were about 10 years older than I was at the time. And, I'm following them guys around. And that's really all of them are what inspired me to play music too, But, love of music doesn't necessarily translate into good employment. And whereas I thought I wanted to be a musician in a band, and I did do that for quite a while, I only learned that not good life for me. I don't stay up well at night, you know. You get me in a party, next thing you know, I'm partied out. Yeah, it was a bad life for me. So I moved over into horticulture and farming, and I'm still here at 73. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll still be here at 83. We don't know. Who knows? But realizing as I was listening to Harvey, and you know, Barry just died. I don't get too teary over death and people passing as far as that's concerned. I don't see anything negative about it. It's normal. We all do it. No one gets out of here alive, okay? Fact is, there are people that have had major influences on my life, one way or another. And when they're gone, I miss them. Yeah, I do. I miss them to the point that, yeah, I can get a little teary even thinking about people that I've never shook their hands. But, you know, it happens. So, I'm going through this stuff, you know. Well, all these memories are, oh, yeah, there I am. You know, I'm watching Muddy. Oh, there I am. You know, I'm right there in the audience in my mind. And I'm remembering my contact. Why do I have all these CDs, right? Yeah. Well, then other memories begin to flow back at me as I'm spinning discs here, you know, looking at discographies. Other things come back to me as I'm spinning these discs and you know, and looking at the playlists and stuff. And I remember. That's right. Yeah. Well, and it come to me. One of the first decent jobs I ever had as a teen was at a radio station. Yeah, I was a freshman in high school. And me and my good buddy Jimmy Hagenjos, you see Jimmy sometimes on drums in my videos. Yeah, he was drummer in my first band. Well, actually, we probably should flip that around. I was the bass player in Jimmy's first band. Yeah. I couldn't really play anything. Jim knew how to play drums. His dad had been a drummer. And he insisted, we're going to start a band, and you're going to be in it. He said, well, I borrowed a bass guitar and an amplifier from a guy who wasn't getting anywhere with it. And, yeah, started it up. There we were. Anyway, yeah, Jim and I, we both worked one of our first jobs at this radio station in Arlington Heights, Illinois, WNWC. That was back in the day when there was almost nothing on FM. Yeah, FM had some public radio, probably some classical stations or something, but there was almost nothing. Everything was on AM. AM was the place where Top 40 ran and all this junk. So you had all these empty frequencies on FM, and so suddenly somebody realized it, and they started buying up license there during the 1960s and opening what we referred to as underground radio stations in those days. They were stations that would play music that wasn't on the top 40. Yeah. You know, you want to hear the Grateful Dead, you'd listen to an underground radio station, stuff like that, you know. Alan Watts, you listen to one of these little FM jobs, and they were small transmitters. They covered neighborhoods, areas, and that. Well, we worked for WNWC, and Jimmy and I were we were the telephone crew, and we also outlooked records. Yes, boxes and boxes of records. 45s in those days, the ones with a big hole in the middle. They'd send them in, they'd come hot off the presses, brand new music, and we'd spin them. We'd sit there, wait for the telephone, spin, answer the phone, spin the records, you know, and way over 90% of them were garbage and garbage and garbage and garbage and garbage and garbage. Yeah. And sometimes, sometimes we bother, depending on the title, flip the side, but every once in a while, something would turn up in those boxes, and we go, wow. Yeah, I'm Chambers Brothers, Time Has Come Today. Yeah, it'd come out of the box, we pulled it, put it on the table, and went, ran it right up to the DJ, slapped it on the turntable, First time ever broadcast in the Chicago area. Yeah, Jimmy and I did that. Gloria. Gloria. That version by the Shadows. Them had a version previously in England. All right, but that didn't make our top 40. The Shadows version is the one that we get over here. If you ever hear the song again, we spun it. First time. I pride myself in knowing that first time Gloria was ever played on the air in Chicago. It was our doing. And there were a number of other songs like this, things that you all know. The first time they ever heard them in Chicago was because of me and Jim, freshmen in high school. Well, years later, I was living in northern Wisconsin. Boy, we didn't have much of the airwaves up there. Whew. I could pick up PBS out of Minneapolis. Actually, it was easier for me to get CBC, Canadian broadcasting up there. But, well, eventually the Ojibwa on the Lac Courte Oreille Reservation opened up a 100,000-watt FM transmitter. And, they did a lot of Native American broadcasting, but they also did some really eclectic stuff, man. And I have Mike Dukin, blues aficionado with a huge collection, and his blind piano player, and I used to jam with him, and occasionally some of Mike and I were streamed live over the radio, but he had a great show. I don't know if he's still doing it or not. It's on the internet, WOJB. That's it. You can look for it if you're interested. If you want to hear Indian drum song, dude, that's the one. Anyway, they would broadcast from upper Minnesota all the way across upper Wisconsin over to the UP, upper Michigan. Big signals, nothing in the air out there. I'd get on their station periodically, mostly over the telephone, on issues, environmental issues predominantly. I'd discuss them. But eventually they ended up carrying the mine hearings there in Ladysmith live, the entire thing. Well, I was part of the entire thing, and so I ended up live on the radio for weeks and weeks on end. After it was all over, the two folks that managed the station came to me and said, Bill, you got a voice for radio. We'd really like to give you a spot on the air in the station. Well, I may have become a DJ if my life hadn't gone weird. I lost the farm. A divorce ensued, life falls apart. Everything changed. So that never happened. But as I was ripping these CDs yesterday and going through all this, I'm going, you know what? I got so much music here, and I know people who have more. Like Jimmy, every record ever cut out of San Francisco and New York in the 1960s, man, he's got them. Well, I'm thinking, I could start an radio station. Well, the idea appeals to me, and I'm toying with it. So I am considering the possibility, I'm not there yet, of going live stream with radio on YouTube. Yeah, live channel. Green Garden Guy here at Putatik Radio. Yeah. I probably already possess 3/4 of the equipment it takes to run an internet radio station. Yeah, all my recording equipment, my stage equipment, that stuff can all be used. I mean, I got the microphones, I got the feedback speak, I got more headphones and cable than you can shake a stick at. Computers wired up to effects and things like this. I have a lot. So, and it's not doing anything. I have lost interest, frankly, in playing my guitar these days. Hands are not what they once were. Yet I still love music. That's why I started playing guitar. I love music. Well, I may just do this. I'm trying to figure out how to do it.